listen to me carefully, success doesn't come to the lucky. It doesn't come to the most talented. And it sure doesn't come to those who wait for motivation to strike. The real secret, the hidden weapon that separates winners from dreamers, is one word: discipline. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when the world tells you to stay down. It's what makes you push when others quit. It's what turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Today, I'm going to show you how to harness that power, how to master it, and how to become someone who never settles for less than victory. Let me tell you something very simple but incredibly powerful: winners aren't born, they're made. And the one thing that separates a winner from someone who dreams but never achieves is not talent, it's not luck, it's discipline. You can have all the intelligence in the world, you can have a million ideas, but if you don't have discipline, you'll never turn any of it into reality. Discipline is the bridge between wanting and having, between wishing and achieving. It's the muscle that allows you to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. And here's the truth: the world is full of people with potential. The difference is those who act consistently and those who just talk about acting. That's what separates the winners from the rest. Think about it. Have you ever watched someone who's incredibly talented, maybe in sports, business, or art, but they never quite reach the level you expected? Why is that? Because raw talent only gets you so far. You can be the smartest person in the room, but without the discipline to show up every day, to put in the hours when nobody's watching, to make the small, sometimes boring choices that lead to progress, all that talent is wasted potential. Discipline is what takes a person from being good to being extraordinary. It's the difference between someone who dreams and someone who achieves. Every successful person you've ever admired, no matter their field, has one thing in common: they commit to doing the work day in and day out, rain or shine, when motivated or not, when inspired or not. And let me be clear, discipline doesn't mean you're rigid or joyless. It doesn't mean living a life of punishment. Discipline is freedom. It's freedom from chaos, freedom from wasted time, freedom from regrets. When you have discipline, you stop being a slave to moods, to impulses, to excuses. You decide your day, your actions, your future. Discipline gives you the power to shape your life rather than letting life shape you. It's waking up every morning and choosing to do what you know will move you forward, even if it's uncomfortable. It's showing up consistently, even when nobody's watching, because you know that your results are built in the quiet moments, in the unseen hours, and the repetition of small, deliberate actions that compound over time. Think about the people you admire most in your life. What do they have in common? You might think it's brilliance or charisma or opportunity, but look deeper. They have rituals, habits, and routines that they honor even when they don't feel like it. They follow a plan, and they execute it consistently. That's the true differentiator. Talent opens the door, but discipline carries you through it. Talent might get attention, but discipline gets results. And here's the kicker: it's something anyone can develop. Discipline isn't a mysterious gift. It's a practice, it's a commitment. It's the decision every day to do the things that others won't, to say no to instant gratification, to delay pleasure for a greater reward down the line. And the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Like a muscle, it grows, and the stronger your discipline, the more unstoppable you become. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I'm not naturally disciplined. That's just not me. Let me stop you right there. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up when it matters, even imperfectly. You don't need to be flawless, you need to be committed. You don't need to never fail, you need to never quit. Every champion, every successful entrepreneur, every leader has faced failure, setback, and doubt. What sets them apart is not that they avoided mistakes, it's that they refuse to let mistakes stop them. They get back up, they adjust, they keep moving, and that's what discipline really is: the power to keep moving when the world is trying to make you stop. So start today. Start right now. Don't wait for motivation to hit you. Don't wait for a perfect plan or ideal conditions. Take one disciplined action today, one small step toward your goals, and make it a habit. Commit to showing up for yourself every single day, because it's in the daily choices, the consistent effort, the disciplined decisions that winners are made. You can outwork, outfocus, and outlast anyone else. You just have to decide to do it. The secret isn't complicated. The secret isn't hidden. The secret is discipline. That's the true differentiator, and that's why winners win. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to know the real secret to achieving massive success? It's not some huge sudden breakthrough. It's not luck, and it's not waiting for the perfect moment. The real secret is something so simple that most people overlook it. It's the small, consistent actions you take every single day. That's it. Small actions repeated over time create unstoppable momentum. They compound, they build on each other. And that, my friends, is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. You see, we often look at success and think it happens overnight, that someone wakes up one day and suddenly everything falls into place. But that's an illusion. Every great achievement you admire is the result of thousands of tiny decisions made consistently over weeks, months, and years. Think about it for a moment. Imagine a person who wants to improve their health. They don't go to the gym once and expect to be in perfect shape. They don't eat one healthy meal and expect to be fit for life. What they do is show up day after day for a workout. They make better food choices consistently. They keep showing up even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. And over time, those small choices add up. The weight lifts, the stamina increases, the energy grows. That's the power of compounding. One step today may not feel like much, but repeated day after day, it becomes unstoppable. That's how greatness is built, not in massive, dramatic leaps, but in consistent, disciplined effort. And this isn't just about health. It's about every area of your life. Financial success works the same way, saving a small amount regularly, investing a little bit consistently, learning a little each day. These small actions build wealth over time. One email sent, one page written, one conversation had, those tiny actions compound. They create opportunities that seem impossible if you're only thinking about the big picture. The key is consistency. It's showing up when nobody's watching. It's doing what needs to be done even when it's uncomfortable or boring. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary. That's how dreams turn into reality. And here's the most important part. Small daily actions create a momentum that becomes unstoppable once it's in motion. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, slow, almost invisible. But the more it rolls, the more it picks up. Every bit of snow it collects makes it bigger, faster, stronger. Soon it becomes a force that can't be stopped. Your life works exactly the same way. Every time you take a small, deliberate step toward your goal, you're building momentum. And the momentum compounds, accelerating your results in ways you can't even imagine at first. Now, I know many people say, I don't have time for small steps. I need a breakthrough. I need results fast. And that's exactly why so many people fail. They ignore the small daily actions because they feel insignificant. But the truth is, these actions are everything. They are the engine behind success. They are the silent work that leads to loud results. The person who writes 1 page a day becomes the author of a best-selling book. The person who invests 1 hour a day into learning a skill becomes the expert everyone seeks out. It's the compound effect in action. And here's the beautiful thing, anyone can start. No excuses, no waiting. You can start today with one small, consistent action and let it snowball into greatness. And here's something even more powerful. Once you start seeing the results of your small actions, something incredible happens. You gain confidence, you build belief. You realize that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. That confidence fuels more action, which fuels more results, which fuels more belief. It becomes a cycle, and before you know it, you are operating at a level you didn't think was possible. And all of it started with one small, consistent choice, one small step. That's the beauty of discipline compounded over time. It doesn't have to feel monumental in the moment. It just has to be consistent. That's how ordinary effort creates extraordinary outcomes. So don't underestimate the power of small daily actions. Don't wait for a perfect day for a perfect plan or for motivation to strike. Start today. Take that small step. Write that page, make that call, invest that time, show up consistently, because those small actions repeated over time compound into results so massive they will change your life forever. And that's how greatness is built. Let's get something clear. Your mind is the battlefield where your success is won or lost. You can have all the resources, all the opportunities, all the talent in the world, but if you cannot master your mind, if you cannot control your thoughts, your focus, and your emotions, none of it will matter. Winners aren't those who never feel fear, doubt, or distraction. They are the ones who have learned to manage it, to channel it, to use it as fuel rather than let it stop them. Self-control is not about being rigid or suppressing your feelings. It's about making deliberate choices even when your instincts tell you to quit, procrastinate, or take the easy way out. That is what separates those who achieve from those who only dream. And the power of mastering your mind is that it transforms your discipline from something external, a routine, or a habit, into an unstoppable force that comes from within. Think about this for a second. Every day you are bombarded with distractions. Your phone, social media, endless notifications, countless demands on your attention. Your brain is constantly trying to pull you toward comfort, toward instant gratification. It wants to check messages, scroll aimlessly, or avoid work that challenges you. And here's the problem. Your goals don't exist in the realm of comfort. They exist in the realm of focus, in the realm of effort, in the realm of doing what others won't do. Every time you give into distraction, every time you let your emotions dictate your actions, you give up power over your life. But when you learn to master your mind, when you learn to focus, to act deliberately, to prioritize the long term over the short term, something incredible happens. You become unstoppable. You start to bend reality toward your will. Self-control doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means understanding them and deciding to act despite them. Winners are not devoid of fear or doubt. They feel it just like everyone else. The difference is they don't let it control them. They use it as information, as feedback, and then they act. They make decisions based on what is necessary, not what is comfortable. Imagine the entrepreneur who wakes up before dawn to study their market, even though their body wants more sleep. Imagine the student who studies when friends are out having fun. Imagine the athlete who trains every day, even when motivation is low. These moments, repeated consistently, forge a mind that cannot be swayed by impulses, a mind that is disciplined not just in action, but in thought. That is the real power of self-control. That is where discipline truly becomes unstoppable. And here's a truth most people ignore. Your focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. When you practice directing your attention, making deliberate choices, and resisting distractions, you build mental resilience. You create a mind that is not pulled in 1,000 directions, a mind that can see the goal clearly and act toward it relentlessly. And once your mind is trained, once your focus is unshakable, everything else in your life becomes easier. Challenges feel smaller, obstacles feel like opportunities, and pressure becomes a trigger for growth rather than a signal to quit. Mastering your mind turns discipline from a habit you have to enforce externally into an internal force that drives everything you do. Let me tell you something else: self-control is contagious. When you master your own mind, it influences everything around you. You inspire others by your focus, your calm under pressure, your consistency. People follow those who show they can control themselves. Leaders, innovators, champions, they all share this invisible skill. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, but it is the engine behind every extraordinary achievement. And the beauty is this: anyone can develop it. It starts small, one decision at a time. One moment of resisting temptation, one moment of choosing focus over distraction. And as you stack these moments, your mind becomes a fortress. It becomes unbreakable. So start today. Take control of your attention. Decide where you will focus and refuse to let anything pull you away from it. Practice self-control in the small things, your habits, your responses, your daily choices. And as you do, you will find that discipline flows naturally. You don't have to force yourself to act. Your mind has been trained to act, to persist, to excel. This is how winners think. This is how winners act. This is how winners create results that seem impossible to those who are ruled by distraction and emotion. And that is the power of mastering your mind. Let me ask you something. How often do you make promises to yourself and then break them? How often do you say, I'll start tomorrow? Or I'll get serious next week, only to find that tomorrow never comes and next week never happens? That's because self-discipline alone is not enough. Discipline is powerful, but it becomes unshakable when it is combined with accountability. Accountability is what takes a good intention and turns it into action. It's what keeps you honest when no one is watching. It's the force that turns potential into performance. Winners understand this. They know that the moment you bring others into your journey, the moment you commit publicly, the moment you allow yourself to be measured and challenged, you create a pressure that drives consistency. And consistency is the engine of success. Think about it. You could have a plan, a schedule, a goal written in bold letters on your vision board, but if you keep it only in your head, it's easy to avoid. The mind is a master of excuses. It will justify laziness, rationalize procrastination, and convince you that later is just fine. But when you create accountability, when you tell someone else what you're going to do, when you share your goals with a friend, a mentor, a coach, or even your team, you introduce a powerful motivator. You suddenly realize that your actions matter not only to you, but to someone else. That awareness transforms discipline from a private struggle into a public commitment. And there's nothing stronger than that, because nobody wants to let others down. Nobody wants to appear inconsistent, lazy, or unreliable. And that's exactly why accountability works. It forces action when motivation fades. Winners don't rely on motivation alone because they know it's fleeting. Motivation comes and goes like the weather, but accountability is steady. It's a built-in system of support and challenge. It's the friend who asks, did you get it done? The coach who reviews your progress and says, are you really committed? The team that counts on your effort. That's the difference. When you are accountable, discipline stops being optional. It becomes non-negotiable. It becomes a standard you set for yourself and a standard that others expect from you. And once you start operating this way, it changes everything. You no longer look for permission or inspiration. You act because the structure you've created demands it. And here's the thing, accountability doesn't just push you forward, it also teaches you resilience. When someone else is invested in your success, you learn to handle pressure and setbacks differently. You learn to persevere not just for yourself, but for those who believe in you, for those who are counting on you. That's when discipline transforms from a habit into a lifestyle. It's no longer a matter of willpower, it becomes part of who you are. And the results speak for themselves. People who embrace accountability achieve faster, sustain longer, and operate at a higher level than those who try to go it alone. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I don't have anyone to hold me accountable. I have to do this on my own. Let me tell you something. Accountability is not about having someone control you. It's about creating structured systems and relationships that support your success. It can be as simple as tracking your progress in a journal, sharing your goals with a friend, or even joining a group with similar ambitions. The key is visibility. You must make your intentions known and measure your actions. When you do, your mind responds differently. You start to prioritize differently. You start to act differently. Accountability gives you focus and urgency creates results. And here's what's incredible. Accountability also amplifies learning. When you allow others to see your progress, you receive feedback, guidance, and perspective that you might have missed on your own. You learn faster, adjust quicker, and grow stronger. You don't just move forward blindly, you move forward strategically, deliberately, and efficiently. And that is how unbreakable discipline is built, not through sheer willpower, not through punishment, but through the combined forces of structure, commitment, and responsibility. It's the force that keeps you on track when life gets messy, when obstacles appear, when your energy wanes. Accountability is the invisible hand guiding you toward your goals, ensuring that you don't just dream, but that you execute and execute relentlessly. So start today, find someone, something, or a system that will hold you accountable. Make your commitments visible, track your actions. Report your progress, and watch as your discipline transforms from a fragile habit into an unstoppable force. Because when you combine discipline with accountability, nothing can stop you, and that is how unbreakable discipline is created. Let me tell you something. Most people never understand life isn't smooth. It's messy. It throws challenges at you when you least expect them. Doors slam shut. Plans fall apart. People let you down. And here's the truth. How you respond to those obstacles will determine whether you succeed or stay stuck. Winners see the world differently. They don't look at obstacles as roadblocks. They see them as opportunities. And the tool that allows them to do that is discipline. Discipline gives you the power to respond instead of react. It gives you control over your actions and your mindset when everything around you seems out of control. Think about it for a second. When life gets hard, when a setback hits, what do most people do? They complain, they procrastinate, they freeze. They focus on what went wrong instead of what can go right. But winners, the people who achieve remarkable things, they train themselves differently. They have disciplined minds that are ready to act, to adapt, to find solutions. They don't waste time on blame or excuses. They ask themselves, what can I do next? How can I turn this into my advantage? That's the difference. And the reason they can do this consistently is because discipline has become their second nature. They don't rely on motivation or mood. They rely on a system, on a mindset, on a commitment to keep moving forward no matter what. Obstacles are inevitable, but failure is optional. Discipline is the bridge that allows you to cross from a problem to a solution. When you face challenges, discipline forces you to act instead of react. It keeps you on course when emotions want to pull you off it. It makes you resilient when the pressure is high, and that resilience, the ability to act consistently under stress, turns what seems like a setback into a launch pad. Every problem contains a lesson, every challenge contains an opportunity, and every failure contains the seeds of your next success. Discipline is what helps you see it. Without discipline, obstacles crush you. With discipline, obstacles elevate you. And here's the beauty of it. Obstacles are not just tests. They are accelerators. They show you what you're made of. They reveal weaknesses that need to be strengthened. They force you to grow. And when you approach them with discipline, instead of fear or avoidance, you develop skills and habits that last a lifetime. You become better, stronger, smarter, and faster. You start to anticipate challenges before they hit. You start to adapt quickly instead of panicking. You start to turn what would stop others into what propels you forward. That is the power of disciplined action under pressure. Now, I know some people think obstacles are unfair. Life shouldn't be this hard. And that's true. Life isn't always fair. But that's exactly why winners win. They don't wait for fairness. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for life to be easy. They act. They turn every challenge into a chance to excel. They train themselves to respond with solutions, not complaints. They make a decision every single day to do what needs to be done, no matter the circumstances. That's what separates achievers from dreamers. That's what makes discipline the ultimate tool. It transforms hardship into progress, pressure into growth, and adversity into advantage. Think of it like this pressure is not your enemy. It's a mirror. It shows you what you need to improve. And if you approach it with discipline, it becomes your ally. Every time you take action under pressure, every time you persist despite difficulty, you build momentum. You build confidence. You build character. And the more you embrace this mindset, the more unstoppable you become. Challenges no longer intimidate you. They inspire you. Failures no longer discourage you. They educate you. That's the shift that discipline creates. And here's one more truth. The world is full of opportunities disguised as obstacles. A project that seems impossible, a problem that feels overwhelming, a situation that looks like failure. Each of these is a chance to practice discipline, to stretch your limits, and to rise above the ordinary. The people who succeed aren't waiting for things to be easy. They thrive in the difficult moments. They see opportunity where others see defeat. And that's why discipline isn't just a habit. It's a superpower. It transforms how you think, how you act, and how you respond to everything life throws at you. So start today. Stop seeing obstacles as walls. Start seeing them as doors. Commit to disciplined action no matter how hard it gets. Respond with focus, effort, and determination. Persist when others quit. Adapt when others complain. Turn pressure into momentum, setbacks into stepping stones, and challenges into opportunities. And that is how discipline turns obstacles into opportunities. Let me share something that sounds paradoxical. At first, the people who are truly free in life are the ones who live with the most structure. You might think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want, without rules or schedules. But the truth is, without structure, freedom is an illusion. Without discipline, a system, your time, your energy, and even your choices are constantly hijacked by distractions, impulses, and chaos. The people who accomplish extraordinary things, the people who shape their own lives, instead of being shaped by circumstances, have one thing in common. They have built structure into their daily lives. And that structure, paradoxically, gives them real freedom. Think about it. If you have no plan, no routines, no systems, how free are you really? You're at the mercy of your emotions, your moods, and whatever happens to come your way. One day you feel motivated and you make progress. The next day you feel tired or distracted and you fall behind. Your potential is always at the mercy of your impulses. That's not freedom. That's chaos disguised as choice. But when you create structure, when you establish habits, routines, and processes that guide your actions, you reclaim control over your life. Suddenly, your energy is spent on what matters, not on endless decisions or reactive behaviors. You don't feel trapped. You feel empowered. You don't feel restricted. You feel unstoppable. Structure allows you to focus on what truly matters. It eliminates wasted time and energy. It gives you clarity and direction. Imagine someone who wakes up every morning with a clear routine. They know exactly what they will do, when they will do it, and why they will do it. Every decision doesn't require debate or deliberation because the structure is already in place. Their mind is free to focus on execution, on creativity, on growth, on opportunities because they've eliminated the mental clutter that comes from disorganization. Discipline creates this structure, and structure in turn creates freedom. It's the paradox that the most successful people understand intuitively. And here's the beauty of it. When you have structure, you can push boundaries without fear. You can take risks because you have a foundation to return to. You can explore new opportunities because the systems you've built support you. Structure doesn't confine you, it empowers you. Think about athletes, entrepreneurs, or leaders who operate at the highest level. They don't wing it. They don't rely solely on passion or inspiration. They have routines, they have plans, they have disciplined systems that allow them to perform consistently, to recover quickly from setbacks, and to grow relentlessly. That is freedom. The freedom to act, to create, to excel without being limited by chaos or indecision. Now, some people resist structure because it seems rigid or boring. They think structure will kill spontaneity, creativity, or fun. But the opposite is true. When you have structure, spontaneity becomes a choice, not a reaction. You can enjoy life fully because you know your foundation is secure. You can pursue your passions because you have disciplined habits in place that keep you moving forward. Structure gives you the freedom to prioritize, to allocate your energy where it matters most, and to avoid being swept along by distractions or crisis. It gives you control over your life, and control is the ultimate form of freedom. And here's the point that most people overlook. Freedom without structure is fleeting, fragile, and often chaotic. Structure without discipline is useless. But when discipline and structure come together, you unlock the ability to design your life intentionally. You can choose how you spend your days, how you grow, who you become, and what impact you make. You can take ownership of your time, your energy, and your destiny. That's the kind of freedom that allows you to pursue your dreams without being held back by chaos, distraction, or indecision. So start today. Build the routines, the systems, the habits that support your goals. Wake up with a plan. Make deliberate choices about your time and energy. Commit to the structure that will allow you to execute consistently even when life gets messy. Protect your schedule, prioritize your actions, and let structure guide you toward your vision. The more you commit to disciplined structure, the more freedom you create, not just in your schedule, but in your mind, in your energy, and in your life. And that is how freedom is truly created, through structure.